Morning.
You're
Morning.
muted. Okay. Alicia is back. Good. Tamara, you haven't put the intention for the week, so put down your intention for the week while we are waiting for us.
Yep.
No, it's all right. So you
Sure.
on the chat, the Facebook is there. What
Morning.
Morning, Evie. Okay. All right. What is Alicia's intention? What's your intention for the week, Alicia?
I want to find out how I can add shipping to my Squarespace scheduling, and go out for dinner with Elon because I went through that really hard transaction and I'm really proud of myself. And the third thing, go to the kickboxing class.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I have to get a new mascara because all of a sudden my eyes are getting swollen and itchy at the end of the day.
Chemical.
Yeah.
Allergic to the chemical. Yeah.
It's so weird, just all of a sudden.
Okay. Your shipping fees is to the scheduling or to your website?
So I don't know how it works, but I want to add an option to do shipping because we just need an extra revenue stream, and people contact me about it, and I finally figured out how to ship it in a secure way.
Yeah.
So now I don't know if I need to find out how they can pay and give their address, and
That's a little. It's not difficult, Alyssa.
No, I was going to say I
Yeah.
can sort of help you with that on Squarespace. So
Well,
Oh,
so
okay.
can Jill. So can Jill, your VA.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, whoever can
Yeah.
help, then I'm
Yeah.
ready for that.
Because you've already got Square added
Yeah.
to it. So adding that component to it is just going to, the same way you do your payments, all you're doing is adding an area for the address. And
Yeah, that part I don't.
And the ticking of the price. Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll wait for Tamara and then we get started. Just give me a moment. I'll find the files and then we'll use this for today. Levels of consciousness.
Isn't it funny? I'm rugging up now because it's getting cold and Alyssa's dressing down. She's laughing.
Well, it's look at that. It's like gorgeous, man. All right. Okay. Also, go to your chat. Let me check on Tamara's intention. What's your intention for the week, Tamara?
try to set a regular sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Sort out phone plan stuff. Phone plans and new phones and stuff, and continue working with my lawyers to move forward.
Yes, absolutely. Good. Good. All right. But also, yeah, sleep is good, but make sure that plenty of water and nutrition food, emotionally, physically will be a lot for you. All right. Now, anyone feel to share today? How's the weekend, or is there anything that, you would like to share with the group?
I've been social all weekend. Here in Adelaide, catching up with friends, which is lovely. But also caught up with some like-minded acquaintances as well. So it's nice. Talked about what we're doing and very supportive of each other. It's lovely.
Good. And then you share already just now. Okay. Now, today is on Radiant, the Spirit. When we come to talk about the spirit, what are your first thoughts on this topic?
My spirit is still asleep. But,
that's okay, Denise, if you're feeling asleep. Tamara, what do you think when you come to this topic, when we talk about the spirit?
The spirit, it's about how you feel on the inside. It's about where you get your joy from, where you experience your joy, your happiness, and where you experience your peace. It's your inner peace.
Good. Excellent. Anyone else?
I
You don't
always
have to
think of the spirit as the part of you that can't be broken.
part of the sorry what?
Part of you that can never be broken. Like it's infinite.
Hmm. Good. Anyone have you ever thought about it? Our spirit cannot be broken and it's infinite.
True. That connection.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the only part of you, well, it's a part of you that knows you.
Mm,
Everything about you.
okay.
And that is something that other people can't take away from you. It's where your entire body is processing. It's your spirit that processes everything around you. All your connections, like Denise has said. You plug in to people, you plug into the network, you're plugging into the things around you with your spirit. So
Yep. Very good. Very good. Now, have you guys been able to open the file from the chat? Okay. Can you guys see the chart on screen?
It's a bit blurry on your screen.
Is it blurry? Because unless you have the speaker, do you have the speaker wheel? Okay, let me pin myself. Could you guys open that on the file because it's on the chat already, and you click the PDF? Can you see that? All right. Let me try to pin myself. Okay. All right. So on my screen is clear. Can you guys see on the Tamara? Are you on the phone or are you on the?
I'm on my laptop, and it's still a bit blurry. Still hard for me to see.
Save it tomorrow.
I've got it. I've opened it up. I've got it. I'm just saying that it's blurry on the screen from Catherine. That's all.
No, that's all right. It depends because when I open on mine is clear. So are the rest on the screen is blurry? Or you all can see it? Okay, cool. If not, then Tamara, open it in.
Yeah, I've opened it up. I've got it. I've opened it. So.
Okay. Now, has any one of you heard of or have followed David R. Hopkins' work? Anna is going to be like, Emmett. Every time she is like transcending the levels of consciousness. Okay. All right.
I think I read that in university, actually.
Yeah. If you're a big fan of Freud, you have gone on to David Hopkins' work. He's a psychiatrist, but he's so more advanced and he's probably close to his 18 now. But anyway, so if you look at the chart, the level of consciousness, when we say our spirit cannot be broken because we all process a spirit within us. Okay. But if you look at the level and the color, what Anna has been talking about, I'm learning about the color because each color also have a frequency as well. So when you go to looking at all these energy, frequency, vibrations, you can see that and you also can feel it. But also at the same time, for those who can see aura, you can tell from a person's aura where they are at. Maybe just on the day, but sometimes it could be for months or weeks, months and years that their aura been affected. Okay, let's look at the dimension of vibration and color. I won't say this is really correlated to the chocolate color, but if you look at that, okay, from the fourth dimension, I wonder whether can you guys see my arrow going around on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So the fourth dimension downward, third dimension, and so forth. That's where the fears mostly operate. So if you look at fears, go down to the bottom. So it's death. Okay. So death, I will believe that person, they are totally denounced at death. But if a person just passed away, their frequency would be still sitting in 20. So if a person been carrying shame around a lot, what happened to their frequency?
It's skewed.
Yeah. So that's the level of consciousness. And look at the energetic frequency, what happened to that person. Hi, Elon. Just say hi, Alicia. Okay. Cool. Katrina is coming. We have another guru coming to help us. But also look at the associated emotional state. If a person carries shame around and how they see life. Okay. Let's look at this first half left-hand side of the chart before we move on to the right-hand side. And then go up the chart. If a person often carry guilt, what kind of energetic frequency they carry? And the emotional state and the will of life.
I'm able.
All right. Okay. Katrina, you just could someone reshare the chart on the chat again so Katrina can get the chart? Katrina,
I
are
can
you
do that.
familiar with? Cool. Thanks, Tamara. Are you familiar with David Hopkins' work, Level of Consciousness? Yeah. So if you Google him on YouTube, you guys are going to have a few days with him with his work as well. And oops, I'll do this. Katrina, that you are going to have fun with it, transcending the levels of consciousness.
David Hopkinson.
Yeah. His work, I won't say it's old, but when was this book? This book been sitting on my shelf for so many years. This was published in 2015, but he has earlier work. Okay. All right, let's jump to the fourth dimension. The green one in between the fears and love. Okay, because we have been doing a fair bit of work about acceptance. At your level of consciousness, when you're willing to accept, your energetic frequency is at 350. What do you think if your level of frequency is 350? How would you feel?
Lighter.
Lighter? Yeah.
Absolutely. You're more in harmony. You tend
Yeah.
to be in more harmony.
Yeah. So emotional state is at the forgiveness. And the will of life is harmonious. Okay. So what would happen when we jump to, well, it's not like the top, but when let's look at the full consciousness. So this consciousness are not talking about just being awake. The consciousness is at the full consciousness with the universe. Energetic frequency is at 1,000. Have you guys met anyone with such a high energy level? So often when I met with those, possibly, I never met with him before, so I would not know. But when I met with the spiritual guy, Tamara, you have worked with a lot of spiritual master and so forth. When you are with them,
probably.
how do you feel?
Really good when you actually get in the presence of someone who's actually fully conscious and aware of who they are and where they are and what they do. And it's an amazing time to sit with them and talk and be there and feel their energy and feel them sort of help you sit in that energy as well.
Cool. Okay. But look at the emotional state and the will of life.
They're just there.
Well, I met few, but not necessarily a lot. But the senses is almost, when my first experience is like, it's so weird. It's almost like, are they empty? Like they have no space. Like, Anna and Tamara and Evie has worked in using Joe Dispenza's meditation yesterday. So when they say space, there's no time and no space.
There's infinite. It just is never ending. We're conditioned to believe we have to give people space.
Yeah.
So from the time it's a mental thing.
Yeah. Okay. It's the condition that we've been told, this 3 dimension. There's a room. There's no infinite. What you're talking about, infinity. But if you have done physics in your schooling, look into a mirror, put 2 mirrors face to face. How many mirrors image can you see? So that probably we can start working from what is an infinite. Okay. All right. So we might not have met someone or experienced that. But how about if we're looking at if we go back down, because on a human being, our natural healthy state with our body, we are around 62 to 68 frequency. Okay, so according to the level of consciousness, a basic human being, if you are healthy, you often will live around in fears. Anyone would disagree on it? Or like, I don't get it. What are you talking about? Let's talk about this. If we have no awareness. Yes, go on, Evie.
I would have thought that a healthy human being would be more in the fourth dimension. To the top end of the third. I wouldn't have thought that you'd
We're
be
talking
down in
about
those-
consciousness, Evie. We're talking about consciousness. But when I'm just
body and
saying
the spirit
a
are
person, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people spend, most of their life, you know, with desires and fears. They're angry, they're prideful. You know, for a lot of people, most people, that's where they sit most of the time. You know, they have to sit there thinking about overcoming fear or overcoming, you know, trying to work out themselves. You know, they're disappointed in themselves, they're frightened, they're, you know, at times they feel hopeless and miserable.
Yeah, I agree that most people would sit in that, but I kind of can't fathom that if somebody was in a healthy conscious state, subconsciously and consciously, they would be sitting in that third dimension. I thought the aim of anyone enlightened or anyone wanting to do work on themselves is to get yourself in a higher frequency.
Oh, absolutely it is. Absolutely, that's the aim. But most people who aren't, in
Yeah, I
that
get
state.
that if they're not. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are talking about.
Sorry?
I think a lot of people.
Just
I think
get
a
everyone
lot
on
of
board.
people.
Denise, let's get everyone understand where we are at. We are talking about people who are not doing this type of work on the spiritual practice. Okay? I'm just talking about a human being with a physical, healthy body. Okay. When we go to Katrina, asking her is like, even though a healthy person walking around healthily, often they are under the sub-health, right, Katrina? Because if they get a cold, they will cough for the whole month. They won't recover. That's why the healthy physical body is a 62 to 68 frequency. Katrina, is that correct information? I don't want to give them. No. All right. So we have to think about it before we tap into this type of work to go into meditation, elevating our vibration and energy. Where were we at? I want to bring you guys to be consciously aware at the spiritual level of where did we come from and where we have got ourselves to right now at this point in time. It's no point just looking what other people do, but it's like more important, where are we at? And knowing where we came from, so we celebrate, and then we know to transcend to the next level. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, because yes, we could have different opinions. So it's not, Catherine is absolutely 100% right, but this is also very, not necessarily new, but this is more than we just talk about the 7th chakra, okay? Going to the 8th chakra, the 12th chakra, and, but the fact is, this will be helping us from our 3D consciousness into tapping more into the level of consciousness in our spirituality. Okay. Anyone? Floor is open. Any question or any share? Or everyone's like, is there more work?
I have a share if you can hear me over the music. Can you hear me over the music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I went through a number of those levels with this just in the last 3 weeks with this transaction that I had. And I kept praying for it to be over, constantly, please be over, please be over. But I remembered one time one of my really spiritual friends said, maybe it's not over because there's still something you need to learn from this. So I kept saying that to myself over and over again. And I eventually got to a point just the other day where I was okay with whatever is going to happen. And it took me like 3 weeks of constantly struggling up and down, low frequency, middle, until I eventually was just like, oh, I can enjoy my life no matter what's happening with this.
Wow.
But that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't stayed in it for so long.
Good. Okay. This is fantastic. What a lesson, Alicia. And when you have trusted friends can point out to you, hey, it might not be all bad. What lesson is it for you? Okay. Let's focus on ourselves. All right. Because we are always on the road of learning. What was that like when we are living in fears and worries? And is it worth it for you or to expend so energy? Or when we are aware and consciously knowing, then you could transform. So Alicia, from this lesson, from fluctuation from different level, what was that shifting point, the shift of the paradigm? Is like, no matter what's going to happen, I still can enjoy life. How did that aha moment came to you so we all could learn from you this time?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a great, almost like an enlightened moment. If I worry it, I can't, it's
well,
like life is not so. Mm-hmm.
I realized that there's always going to be another problem. Things rarely always go smoothly. And I just said to myself, I can't keep living this way. Every time something stressful happens, I fall apart. I want to enjoy my life. And then I also realized that I'm going to be okay. I've always had enough money. Every time I worry, I'm not going to have enough money. I've never not had enough. So I just had like this gratitude, like even if this transaction doesn't go through, I'm going to be fine and I can enjoy my life in the meantime. And it was just so liberating. And then also I had a really hard conversation with the people I'm working with, and I put my foot down. I said, I'm not giving you 50% of my commission. And they tried to they tried to pretend like they're pulling out of the transaction to get me to cave. And I said, I'm not caving. Do whatever you want. I'm not giving you 50%. And after that, a little Eckhart Tolle moment. Yeah. After that, my landlord asked me if I would work with her in buying another investment, and another person I know asked me if I would work with them to help them buy another investment. And I didn't have to do anything. It just called me up, and it was such a good feeling because I think I was in that higher frequency.
Absolutely. You're sitting up there in the fourth.
Yep. According to the chart, where do you think you could be? Is it the courage, acceptance, actually the inner light, reasoning, wisdom, love, the joy, the present? What might that be?
Let me pull up the chart. Well, it felt like serenity and complete.
Let me see.
Oneness and joy.
Yeah. 540, serenity and complete. When you stand firm at the 3D level, it's like people say, you need to draw your boundaries. Yeah. And often people say, if you draw your boundary, you're a tough person, but you felt the joy. So having a strong boundary is a good thing. You feel complete in that aspect. That's beautiful. And then what came along your way? You didn't even need to lift a finger. So we're going to talk about that. It's more like the synchronization about your heart and your mind. Your heart become magnetic. Your emotion. You're drawing people to you. Your mind is electric. Often when you guys follow Joe Dispenza, that's what he's talking about. Things will just happen. Not just happen, it will come to you. Ask the universe for a sign that's showing you. How light is it right now, Alicia? Your heart is so light at the moment. The energy. Can everyone feel her? It's the amplifying feeling. Okay. Any more, Alicia, you want to share? Because this is amazing. It's a big leap. It's not just a paradigm, it's a big leap in your faith.
Yeah, well, all I can say is that when I'm not in that feeling and I have to chase every transaction, every deal, it's exhausting. And so I'm really want to keep, being in that frequency.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you have experienced it. Help yourself to anchor that emotion, that feeling, and that energy. Especially when you go into meditation, you can bring that back. But during the day, consciously bring it back. For those who have spent time with me, they might get annoyed. Every 2 hours, my alarm will ring. It's not just a statement, but I stop. I take time to be grateful and meditate for that minute to bring the consciousness, the energy within myself instead of going unconscious. That's what Joe did. You go unconscious is doing your work. You go into automatic mode. You bring back the old emotion. You bring back the old memory, just robotically doing what you're supposed to do, your task. Okay, that is the unconscious at the spiritual level, that you just go into this automatic mode. Does that make sense to everyone? That take a moment, even a minute, to be grateful, to draw the energy and connect yourself. Cool, we might move on. Where's Anne-Marie? She's in the dark. Don't cover your face. We can't even see you, or you're waving at us.
Baby's still asleep.
Oh, are you in the bedroom with your kids? Yes? No? Okay, cool. All right.
I can just see her head shaking.
Cool. Okay. All right, Katrina, you have anything you would like to share?
Oh, excuse me.
No? All right. Okay.
Sorry, I realized I'm on mute. I'm chatting away. Good morning, everyone. No, that's fine. This is really fascinating. And I was just looking at the colors because I've had the privilege of having aura photos done at different times. And I've seen when I've been in literally in the aura reflecting the yellow, orange, green colors. And then the last one I had was moving into reflecting into the blue and purple colors. So it's fascinating how your aura actually changes with your spiritual development. So I thought I'd add that in.
Beautiful. Okay. Now everyone's good with it. Then key to transcending to the next level. Okay, before we do that, if you guys would feel comfortable, let's say this moment in time as of today, where do you think you are at in terms of, are you moving in between love and fears, or you pretty much, I will say I'm pretty much on the courageous side of things to trying to move up? Okay, just decide as a point right now where you are at. Type into the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, take a moment to look at where you guys are at, and then type into the chat, and then we can. Okay, decide at one level. Are you in the inner love, inner wisdom, acceptance, willingness? So where we could start working with you. Okay, good. Like for example, Alicia, acceptance. You're moving around 350 with the energy. Okay. We can feel it, like for those who feel the tingling outside their body, or you can feel like different, sensation on each part of your body. So we are all different. But often when the frequency change, when the increase of your frequency, you can feel that layer of air or like I love Katrina, she always say, "Oh, there's a my body hair is standing up." Okay, all right. So a lot of you guys are at acceptance between third and fourth dimension. Anne-Marie, just think about between third and fourth dimension. Is it pick up a level of consciousness? Do you have desire, anger, pride, or fear, or guilt, or grief? Okay. Okay. All right. So what is important? I'm saying pick up the energy, pick up the level of consciousness right now at this point in time. It's not about throughout the day that you're fluctuating or not, Denise. It's right now. Where do you feel? Okay. It's subjected to your own. No one can tell you where you're at. It's according to your level of consciousness this moment in time. Okay. So let's say acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. Okay. Most people are at acceptance. Anna, have you chosen one? Katrina is 200. Where is Katrina at 200 is courage. Yep. And Anna, choose a description. 400 to 600. What is that? Are you in the inner light, inner wisdom, or inner love? Just stick with one at this point in time. Okay. You don't fluctuate, significantly in the moment. All right. Okay. So as we move from acceptance, okay, the fourth dimension. Okay, most of us could have been at this point in one acceptance, one point in time, or we just starting to because of life circumstances. Okay, but often, even accepting, life is not fair. How many of us felt that life is not fair, right? Okay, but when we're accepting that the fact is, for all of us, life is really unfair to the kid was born into a developing world compared to our life. If we want to compare that, is we have running water, flushing toilet, we have electricity, we have internet to get onto the Zoom call here. Okay, but could we accept that? Would you be able to accept that you're actually the top 20% richest people on earth? Could you accept that you're the top 20%? Because we have all these luxuries. I don't have to go downhill to go to the well and draw water to bring it back, to just do the basic necessity. And to this day and age, do you know how many of the people still need to do that on a daily basis? Okay. So when we are accepting, are we accepting that we just have basic everyday living? Are we accepting where you are at right now and moving across? That's a really great energetic frequency to work on, to say, I'm open. I believe that when you are in the acceptance level, we are open. What interesting is forgiveness. Okay. As I said, we're going to do work on ourselves. Have you forgiven yourself? Have we totally forgiven ourselves? Okay. I will encourage you guys to journal about it to help you to bring your unconsciousness up to your conscious level and in the 3D dimension, so that we would be able to spearhead this work for you. Often in our intellectual mind, we think, oh, we have done the work. Okay. As Alicia, what an example is that she shared about her deal. Like, we feel for her when she first shared. Again, Anna would tell, Alicia, go back to the call when you share with us and look at yourself on that recording, to today's recording. Okay. All right. So that's the work that we need to constantly doing that. The forgiveness. Okay. Do we beat ourselves up? Okay. And then will help us to bring our will of life. How do we see life? Do we see harmony? It's like Alicia said, I'm so tired of being in anxious state. But what happened is almost when she shifted, she could feel the harmonious energy within herself, that peacefulness. How she empathized just now. We can feel it, her energy coming from her heart across the globe. And what happened when those people say, help me to find my investment properties? the stepping out with passion. And it's not reminding who she was, but it's like where she was and where she is now. She wasn't sure. Is real estate really my career? It's not about the career. It's about her heart wanting to help people, how beautiful she is, that she's stepping out with passion, working with people, even be a copywriter, even be writing a children's book is about her in her own way, working with others. Has it been more clear to you, Alicia, with like the experience in the last probably just 12 months closer to that? That every day is more passionate for you.
The best, I think for me, the biggest relief is I'm just not questioning everything every day. Like I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'm okay with that. And that's for me, that's the big, huge relief.
Fantastic.
Can I ask a question? Always working on the overanalyzing, you know, our brains tend to go in there and go, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Instead of going, how do I feel? And what does it make me feel? And then going into, this is the way I want to feel. This is the state I want to stay in. And slowly deal with the stuff that holds us back. If you go back to where you were before, to where you are now, you are in a higher conscious state. That's why I said you shined. When I came on, I went, wow, you look fantastic. And the plants look happy. Do you know what I mean? It's that picture.
Thanks. Yeah, well, I think another part that's really important is being a part of this group. It fulfills the part of me that wasn't fulfilled. And so I don't have to worry about fulfilling it at my job because I'm getting it somewhere else. And then that makes everything seem more clear.
Yeah, good. All right. Stepping out of passion, and then what we experience, happiness and productivities. Okay. And then you are in a flow. When you're accepting that, you feel that you're more in a flow in your everyday life. Okay. For location, I'm still studying it, so I won't go into a teach unless someone know more about what that means. Otherwise, I'll come back to you guys because it's a lot of study. Even just looking at this choice, like, I have that book to read and I have another few. So David Hopkins, if you go to YouTube, you'll be bombarded with like a lot of videos, but it's according to what your needs are at the moment. Okay, so how are we going to apply this? Okay, it's not just a week, but I think this is going to be one of our backbone for us to referring back onto this chart often. Okay, so you have chosen, or you have, resonate with the level of consciousness right now. Okay, so then for you guys, those who have, like, for example, the acceptance, key to transcending to the next level, what would that be? It's not like you just go from level to level. Sometimes you could zoom up. It depends on how much practice, I would say. Meditation is one of the major ones. Also, letting go of your intellectual mind at times, that you'll be more open to what the universe has in store for you. Okay? So, for example, to those who say, I'm at the level of acceptance, it's not written in stone, but it's just a written exercise for you guys right now to say, in order for me to transcend to the next level, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to you stepping out with passion? And then for this week, from Monday today to Thursday, what will be the one thing I could practice in stepping out with passion to help me to have my emotional state, to have this forgiveness, and for me to experience life with harmony? Okay, that's why I say one thing, because it's like, what are you talking about? My level of consciousness today, at this point in time, I feel is that acceptance. So what kind of emotional state that would help me to step into forgiveness and experience life from today to first day with harmonious state, so that I could step out with passion. And no matter what happening, I could experience happiness and productivity. So nothing is going to stop me in life that, oh, I'm too sad right now, I don't feel like doing anything. Or yes, unfortunately, that's part of life, part of life, that there are challenges. I would like to call issues like people say, when I have a problem, I say, when I have a challenge, it's our language. What could I do, in a sense, not necessarily physical work, but what could I do for my emotional state to bring my awareness? Okay, all right, think about it. It's a very new concept perhaps today, but the fact is, if we could bring us back in point, like for example, throughout my day, my alarm will remind me to quiet down, even just a minute, to draw the energy. Because these 3 months, my energy practice is, I want to be flourishing. I am flourishing. So when I sit down and when I have that moment, it's like I'm flourishing, and I allow my heart to feel it and have that infinite space instead of just staring in front of my wall. I allow myself to feel that infinity, how far that will go. There is no limit. It could be as simple as that. So what would that one thing for you to practice this week? For those who have came up with something, say just type 1 in the chat, and then I'll get you to share so we all can learn from one another. A lot of thinking energy right now. And when you're thinking, maybe open up to upstairs, the divine. Give me a sign. Is there any blind spot that I haven't been able to see right now? Or maybe there will be a haha moment. Yep. Tamara, enjoy the moment. Would you like to share? Let's just practice that. Is like, I think you were at the level, you felt that your level of acceptance, like, let's help us. So we all learn from another, from acceptance to practice enjoying the moment, to walk yourself through. So
Yep.
being accepting.
Yeah, so enjoying the moment is just, while you're there, just look at it and go, okay, so I'm happy, we've got the sun shining down on me. It's that whole enjoy the moment. We're here, we're alive. Just be in that moment. Don't think about the worries of the future. Don't think about the stresses of the past. Just enjoy this moment so that we can sort of just move forward into, that self-forgiveness, we don't have to always find, an understanding or a meaning in what's happening. Just enjoy the moment for what it is. I've got my heating that I can put on so it warms me up. I'm in that moment. I like the feel of my jumper because it's nice and soft. So just enjoy that moment. Just be there.
Good. Okay. Anna, Anne-Marie, or Katrina, would you guys like to share? Anyone? Katrina, unmute yourself. You would like to share?
I was waiting to see if Anna was going to pop in. For me, I'm at the part where I'm contemplating some major life shifts in career, and Anna and I have been talking about this for a little while and had quite an in-depth conversation with my partner last night about some things. So it's brought up a lot to process and think about. And for me now, it's moving into the willingness to be ready for the next phase of my journey, and then onto the acceptance and take the action and start to make it happen. But in that, it's also, I've put in the be present, because it's being present in the moment, not 3 months, 6 months from now. It's where I'm at right now, and the processes to get to the next step.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Could I challenge you for this week?
Go
I give you a
ahead,
challenge.
Catherine.
It's a lot to process. I might not know exactly, what is the next stage, but like in the cosmos, you know how I see things and feel things. It's not just the emotion, but it's more for you is where you done the track in 3 months, but it's more, I feel that it's like when you journal, I feel that like from your gut that you open up to heaven and it will come to you as you journal, as you allow your whole system to process it.
That's so, thank you. That's profound, Catherine. I haven't journaled in quite a while. I've stepped away from that. And I've had this very strong feeling. I've got a little spot down on the Strand that's beautiful. And when I go there, I get to see the sea turtles and I just connect. And I really had a strong feeling that tomorrow I need to go down there, take my journal and just start writing and see what flows. So thank you, Catherine.
Exactly. So people will say, what journaling? I said, well, don't journal what you ate or when you fart for the day, but journal as it transcends when it comes to you in a flow. And that is so beautiful. And you just know in that sense. It's not that we need to know what's the next step, but when you just know and allow it to flow through you, to even have that optimism and being hopeful. Because in business, we can plan. Or people will call us dreamer for the entrepreneur. But when we dream, when we don't take action, yes, it's still a dream. But when we take action, we know whether it's working or if not. Okay. Beautiful, Katrina. Thank you for the openness.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone want to have a go? Because I feel that you guys are exploding in your mind. Like.
Okay. Well, when I talk about listen and breathe, I think everyone's heard me say that for a number of months. That I'm not just talking about listening to what's around, but listen to what's within. And when you stop and breathe, you're pausing. Alyssa, remember, we pause, we breathe, we focus. So it's not focusing on the problem, we're focusing within ourselves. And then we're stepping outside that problem, which gives us that clarity. Like, remember I spoke to everybody about having to accept who I am. And I think Tamara will tell you, I always go, I want to learn. I think I have to learn more. The thing is, I've been doing things without, because in my head, logic says I need to learn when I've been doing things naturally. Right? And I told you guys I went to the crystal place last time, but I had to go back to this crystal place because I had something to say to this woman. And I was like, not fear, but because she had people around her, I didn't feel comfortable about telling her what I saw. So I went back, did the crystals, which were fantastic with Evie. And then I spoke to her and said what I had to say. And she said, oh my God, what are you? And I'm like, I didn't know what to answer. I didn't know what to say. I was like, my friend calls me a seer. But what I said to her was really important. And I'm glad I said it because I know she'll take action now. But it's accepting even that crazy shit. That is enlightenment as well, because all of a sudden I've stepped into another realm, which is saying I'm going to say what I'm going to say to people.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. Beautiful. Well, we know you're confident, Anna, but I believe you have not fully accepting your true power.
You are correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's not being prideful. It's like, oh, I'm so powerful. I can see, I can feel. But with humility that we come to know this and coming to being passionate about what we are called on this earth, it will just flow to us. But totally understand that accepting that we know our true power is not being prideful. Okay. It's just that we've been conditioned. Shh, don't tell people. Okay. Don't show off. And even in Australia, I don't know whether for the American friends have heard of the top poppy syndromes. People will pull you down. They will joke around. Yeah, you think you're the best, you know. So as a conscious level of a nation, it's still very hard for people to say, yeah, I'm good at that. Thank you. So it'll be a challenge for all of us here to accept our true power with humility. Okay, anyone else want to share? We come to 701. I better let Anne-Marie go with, oh, that's no school today. I wonder why I always think that's school. No kids are
No,
awake.
I've got to take the kids to daycare.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But yay, put them to daycare and you're free.
Yay.
Yep. You got work today or?
Uni.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh yeah, uni doesn't have school holiday. All right. So I'll see those at 2 o'clock for the challenge today. All right. Anyone want to have the final share? It sounds complicated with the level of consciousness, but the fact is when you allow it to flow within us, I believe it will drop to you guys. Everyone's good. Everyone's good to go. On Thursday, you'll share like, yeah, I got it and totally master it. So Anna, you're unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Everything that we're talking about today, the book that I'm reading that you gave me from this woman that had no knowledge about the stuff that we talk about, to a woman writing about it 20 years after the experience, it's, you know, I've learned more about not just the knowing, but the alignment of everything within the body. I'm learning about what I've been thinking to now putting it into action. Like, for instance, the color. If you're feeling that anger and stuff, then acknowledge it. Get a red dress, put it on, because you're going to match what you're feeling, and that'll actually calm it. Don't laugh, but it actually calm it down. And you don't have to put it on your skin, but you can put it above the area of how you're feeling, you know. And something that it doesn't make my mind boggle. It makes sense that I understand. So it's a combination of this and what I'm reading.
It's the oneness, just the knowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
As I said, when, you know, because if you look at in the podia, the video I use would be very basic. But as I said, you know, as we're moving forward, I'll introduce more. And for those who have individual call with me, we'll go into deeper on your personal level. Okay, so it will be important for us to work through that. Okay, well, be confident, be you.